Okay, the last thing to talk about is the very end of the novel. Eliezer, when they are liberated, Eliezer really doesn't know what to do with himself. He's a little lost, right? He's walking around like a zombie. He's lost himself. He's lost his father. He is upset with himself for having been grateful for losing his father. He has nothing left in the world whatsoever, and his faith in God has lapsed. It is no longer available to him. So he really is empty, a shell of who he was. And he finally has the chance to look in the mirror, and a corpse is looking back at him. This is a key moment, this idea of a corpse looking back at him, because this really solidifies our ideas about how Eliezer's religion and his father's life were so closely linked. The corpse looking back at him, you could see that as the death of his religious beliefs as they had been. He is no longer that boy who could believe so fervently that God was all good, omniscient, omnipotent, and all good. He can't believe that anymore because of everything that he's seen. There's no way that you can believe that God is good in those circumstances. And Eliezer now recognizes that. And as he looks at himself, although we're talking about his physical self as well, right? Like, I mean, he's going to be emaciated. He's been starved for so long. Emaciated means skinny. You have no nourishment. He's going to be emaciated, but the fact that he's a corpse, the old Eliezer is dead. This doesn't mean that he has no religious belief anymore, because he still does make comments about prayer, but his belief in God as that being who is good is dead. And this is a clear moment of that. He's also dead because his father is gone. And the only thing that he had been living for through that camp was his father. That's what kept him going. And we saw that over and over again. But once his father was gone, he was as good as dead as well. I would strongly suggest, if any of you really liked Night, it's a series of 3. There's Night, Dawn, and Day. I think that's what Night, Dawn, and Day, yes. We do have the other 2 in the library if you're interested in taking them out. They're excellent. I mean, Elie Wiesel, you can look online and find 1,000 pieces of information about this book. You can find Spark Notes, definitely lots of Spark Notes. But there's just a ton of information about Elie Wiesel. So I strongly recommend that if you are struggling with this book, number 1, read it a second time. I really think you need to read this book twice to understand it, and especially going into that diploma exam, take the time over Christmas to read it twice. It does not take very long. Number 2, go out and look for more information. I cannot give you all of the information in this fashion. It takes too long. But you can find more, and you will find more information about the Binding of Isaac, about Uliakh's violin and the symbolism there. Think about the motifs of night and silence that we saw in the book. And please take a look at any notes that I gave you, as well as finishing those booklets, because that will be very helpful at that diploma exam. All right, have a great Christmas. See you soon.